Line Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Looks like a little inclement weather rolling into the metro area. A little bit of rain coming our way. I remember when I was at LSU, I did some geography class in room 130 of that geology building. Huge auditorium, must have seated 350. You could enter from the second floor in the back. Old school. I remember there was a multiple choice question. Baton Rouge's weather today was blank's weather yesterday. And the answer was Dallas. Just because basically that's kind of how the rain, the weather comes rolling in. At least in our part of the world, kind of Dallas through Shreveport, through Alexandria, through Baton Rouge, down into New Orleans, across the Gulf Coast, into the southern Mississippi, southern Alabama area, down the I-10. That's kind of how it works. So when it's raining in Baton Rouge, now it could be lying across the North Shore and miss us down on the South Shore, but it usually means we're going to get some rain. A flood watch in effect, possible 3 to 6 inches of rain, mostly starting tonight. Some of it's already starting a little bit in the metro area. Tomorrow's kind of a rinse and repeat. Wake up to around 70. Right now it's low 80s, and rain is coming. Supposed to be rainy tomorrow. But then we're going to get a cold front. Yeah. Wednesday through Saturday. We'll wake up to high 40s, low 50s. Wednesday through Saturday. High 40s, low 50s in the AM, and then just creep on up to like 60-something degrees. Just some really nice weather over the next few days. Got to like that. We'll take it. 60s, Wednesday through Saturday as the high. And then Sunday and Monday, it kind of warms up just a little bit. 50s to low 70s. Some outstanding weather from like today through next week after the next 36 hours or so of rain. So tonight, tomorrow, then a cold front coming in on Wednesday, and we're going to have really good weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Sunny and cool and crisp. Mosquito killing weather. Thank goodness. Got to get rid of those nasty pests. The NOPD confirms 13 victims, 2 killed in a St. Roch second line shooting. 2 separate shootings, actually, about 45 minutes apart. This thing is national news, sadly. USA Today, national newspaper, their website, CBS. It was one of the top 10 stories. Right when we were starting to make some incredible momentum, and we still are. Hopefully this is an outlier, not the norm as it used to be. No, we've done a great job. When I say we, the NOPD, NOLA Troop N, that NOLA State Trooper unit. No, just proactive policing, going after the criminals instead of reactive policing, going after him after the crime. So violent crime has plummeted in New Orleans. For you folks that are kind of, I don't want to say living in the past, but thinking about how it's been the last few years, we're like, I don't visit New Orleans, especially at night. We don't go to New Orleans anymore. We go to restaurants in Metairie. We do things in Metairie or the West Bank or whatever. You're missing out on New Orleans. You're missing out on New Orleans. No, the violent crime has seen a dramatic decrease over the last 6 months plus. But then not one, but two shootings. First shooting, 10 wounded. 6 were female, 171 years old. The second shooting, it was unbelievable. Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick is literally in a press conference talking about the first shooting when there are shots being fired in the background. Shots being fired in the background of a second shooting where 2 were killed, 1 wounded, all male in that one. But boy, 10 wounded in the first shooting and 6 of them were female, including a 71-year-old. No, it's just something very, very wrong with that. Eugene Green, Councilman District D, he's going to join us in about 10 minutes. We'll get his take on this. Trash contracts, mayor in Rio. Yeah, the mayor remains in Brazil until tomorrow. Can Brazil just keep the mayor? Junket Cantrell? I love this. This is as good as it gets. The U.S. Postal Service will release a new commemorative stamp next year in 2025. Alan Toussaint's on it. New Orleans' own Alan Toussaint will be on a stamp that'll be on mail around the country, around the world. Pretty cool. No, I'm definitely going out and grabbing a bunch of Alan Toussaint stamps. They're those forever stamps. So I normally get, I don't know, a couple of, little refill sizes, whatever that might be, 10, 20 stamps, a dozen stamps, 20 stamps. I have no idea. I might get 24, 30 at a time, something like that. I'll probably pick up, 50 Alan Toussaint stamps. So I'll have them for the next few years. And then I'll probably, the last 1 or 2, I'll use the scissors and cut them out and just keep them. I've never been a stamp collector. I'm going to have like 2 Alan Toussaint stamps in my desk drawer forever, I guess. But I love that. Alan Toussaint owned stamp. How cool is that? Scrim is on the loose again. I don't know if you want to watch the YouTube video of this dog escaping. Scrim was on the loose, caught, put in his new forever home, escaped that home, was on the loose for like 3-4 months, caught him again, got a new owner, a new home, secured, 2nd floor window of an uptown house, gnawed through the screen, this dog. Got out on the porch, leaped over the railing, about a 13-foot drop, and didn't land on the grass, landed like on the concrete walkway leading to the front door. Like back legs, belly, just nailing the concrete, and kind of just got up and stuck its head through the fence and free. Someone said they saw Scrim and he had a little trouble getting up off the ground. So I think one of the back legs is injured. If it's not some sprain, I don't think it's broken, but definitely strained. And probably has a sore belly just landing on that. But this dog just demands its freedom, refuses to be domesticated. Out on the street of Uptown, the big worry is trying to catch it, and you're running the dog out into the street where oncoming traffic could run over the dog and kill it. But Scrim's on the loose. They recommend if you find Scrim, and if you go to my social media, my Twitter, @Corey Johnson, I reposted it. They have a phone number. So you can call and report where you saw Scrim, which direction Scrim was heading in. And then this woman from, I think, Zeus's place is going to come out with the tranquilizer gun and try to, knock him out. And that's a pain because you hit him with the dart and then Scrim runs for like 5 minutes until he gets drowsy and passes out. But if you don't follow him, he gets drowsy and passes out somewhere and you don't know where he is. So the dart lady has to hit him and follow him while he's running off with, the dart. Eugene Green's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Hey, Helm Paint and Decorating, today, tomorrow, with the rain rolling in, that's when you hit those Helm locations, 7 in New Orleans, 4 in Baton Rouge. That's when you hit that most convenient location to you, and you pick out your paint. You pick out the colors. You pick out all the supplies, everything you need for that paint job, because in about 48 hours, it's going to be painting weather for about the next week straight. Just outstanding weather, cool and comfortable. You can knock out that paint job. Yeah, when you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, high quality, Benjamin Moore paint. Paint one time, lifetime warranty. Never, ever paint your house ever again. Helm Paint and Decorating in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, steering you in the right direction, literally. If you're looking for like food or car tires, washers and dryers, Helm's not the place. If you're looking to knock out your paint job right, Helm is the place. In New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Another Martell Monday. Brett Martell will join us in the 5 o'clock powwow. Saints win 2 in a row. The big local sports story is 20th ranked Tulane. 9-2. They're going to their 3rd straight championship game, conference championship game, maybe more. LSU, the opposite of the Green Wave, floundering. Monday afternoon, flood watch, coming right back.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home. Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at La Barre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner and Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Lamarck Ford for 45 years in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in Kenner. And if you need a commercial van, truck, Ford vehicle, Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway's got you covered. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Eugene Green, Councilman District D, joins us on the program. How you doing, Eugene?
Okay, just fine, Corey. Just fine. Good to talk to you and to those who are listening.
Yeah, what a nightmare, man. We are trending in a great direction as far as violent crime. Hopefully yesterday was an outlier and not getting back to how it used to be. But the NOPD confirms, Eugene, 13 victims, 2 killed in 2 separate St. Roch second line shootings, about 45 minutes apart.
Yeah, and my condolences first to the families of those who lost loved ones, and also, to the families of those who are struggling with the fact that their family members were shot. I mean, these kind of activities affect, by the time you finish, hundreds of people when you think about the family members who are aware that one of their family members has been shot or taken. So it's a sad day in that respect. I do want to say one thing that doesn't change the numbers relative to crime, and I want everybody to recognize that this was an outlier. The bottom line is that the numbers are still favorable in terms of trends. The reduction in homicide, for example, it's unfortunate that we talk in these terms in terms of numbers, and these are real human beings who have families and themselves suffer. But, our homicides are like at 119. That's terrible to say, but it was 230 some last year. So, we've got a plus 45% decrease in homicides, and also the same as the fact of shootings. It's very difficult, Corey, to very honestly get into the head of a maniac who brings a gun to a celebration and then decides he's going to use it. There were police in the second line. There were police on the periphery of the second line. And still somebody decided he was going to use a gun with all the cameras around, including a city crime camera. So you know that they're going to be visible. But they just didn't care. Whatever was on their mind, they had to resolve at that time, and it's very sad.
Yeah, don't really think about repercussions, just sort of act out. I guess if there's a positive from this is what you just said, plus a lot of witnesses. The NOPD, State Troop NOLA, they appear to be on this, and hopefully you'll catch these idiots.
Well, let me tell you that they're going to have been followed by cameras. The people who are there are going to have taken photos. In fact, one of the photos that they keep showing is a photo of the second line, and you can see how close the shooting was to it, but there were other people around. So the bottom line is that those perpetrators are going to be caught. In fact, if they're listening, because you never know what they're doing, turn yourself in. At the end of the day, you did something that harmed 15 families. So you really need to turn yourself in and let the justice system do with you what it needs to do.
Yeah, that second shooting, 2 killed, 1 wounded, just terrible. The first shooting, 10 wounded, 6 of them were female, Eugene, including a 71-year-old woman, just arbitrarily firing sort of in the direction of the target, and it doesn't matter what you hit outside of the target. I mean, it's just all bad, but just spraying bullets everywhere when there's a crowd is insane.
And Corey, many times they can't control the gun. To be very honest with you, it's not like they've gone to target practice. They have a stolen gun, or they've tried to pump it up, and so therefore they can't even control the gun, and it gets out of their hands. But anyone, I still don't really understand it because I don't really follow what the logic is. But why come to a celebration with a gun? Why come to a celebration armed like that? Just stay home. Just stay home and enjoy. It was at the same time of the Saints game. Stay home and watch the Saints game. If you really fear that coming to a second line is going to expose you to that much danger, do something else. Choose to do something else with your life. But they'll probably be caught. But I want to emphasize this, Corey, and it's very important. Yesterday was a day of fun. I happened to be there because it's a great celebration of the Ninth Ward. People come from throughout the nation to come back for that particular day, that second line. And it's not just a little short second line. It's people going to church and then staying outside and going to family members and cooking and relaxing and, yes, watching the game until the second line comes by. It really is part of, I know we abuse the word culture sometimes, but it is the part of the culture of our city that people come back and celebrate with a parade, or they are in the city and they celebrate with a parade. And that's what this was. There were children in this parade. There were small floats. There were people who were so proud to have the title of Mr. 9 times, Miss 9 times, the King of 9 times, the Queen of 9 times. And they had their maids and their servants and their supporters on the floats with them. And the furthest thing from their mind was committing violence or being the victim of violence. It is part of our culture here in the city, a city of enjoyment. And it's just unfortunate that what happened yesterday happened. But Corey, that organization has had 26 second lines. 26. This was their 26th one. They haven't had a history of crime or of shootings or of violence associated with their second lines. This is very, very unfortunate, and I think that they'll have a fine 27th celebration.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with second lines in general or this particular one of the biggest. Eugene Green is with us, Councilman District D. Eugene, what stinks about this, we are trending in the right direction, as you mentioned, as far as violent crime, just in time for the Super Bowl. That's not really some kind of story that sizzles for the media, and I'm pro-media, obviously. But I saw in like USA Today, CBS, just a couple of places I went and looked, in their top 10 stories is this second line shooting in New Orleans. So that's kind of the juicy topic that gets the clicks and the views, but unfortunate because we're doing such a great job getting rid of violent crime.
Yes, well, part of the headline is the headline that wasn't included. The words that say New Orleans, which is soon to host the Super Bowl, obviously that's a worldwide event, experiences violence of this nature. I mean, we're going to be in the media a lot between now and then. How we already were in the media as to how we hosted the Taylor Swift concert, for example. But we got a Sugar Bowl between now and then. We got the start of the Mardi Gras season on January the 6th. So it's important to recognize that we will be high profile for a while. And an incident like this, yes, it does. It is. Look, it is a nationally interesting story in that you had so many people shot at a celebration like this. This wasn't a domestic violence incident, or maybe I shouldn't draw conclusions because maybe it was. I don't know. But the bottom line is that this was the main focus was a celebration, and everybody's coming to the nation, from the nation to New Orleans soon to celebrate. So I understand the story, but I hope that the story gets mentioned, and we have to mention it ourselves. The decrease in crime and the fact that, for example, we've had recently celebrations for the life of Eric Paulson. We had a celebration for the life of Frankie Beverly with Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Yep.
Tremendous second lines, not an incident. And Eric Paulson's celebration was just 2 weeks ago. So the bottom line is 2 or 3 weeks ago, there were no incidents then. But I know one person or a couple of people can make a big difference in the way you get looked at. And so in this particular instance, we have to recognize that that's going to be part of the coverage that we get. But lots of second lines in our city. Very few incidents, not a shooting at a second line in 2 years. Of course, there should never be a shooting, but I just want to say it's not something that's regular that happens at a second line.
Hey, Eugene, I think it was Helena Moreno and you, the council's rebidding a trash contract?
Well, it's subject to a vote now, Corey. We're not I can't comment on this in this respect. We haven't voted on anything yet.
Gotcha.
So at the end of the day, we have to hear testimony. We have to hear facts. We have to have our city attorney involved. We have to hear the facts as presented by both sides to make a decision. The headline makes it look like that's going to happen, but until there is a vote, it's just like we don't have a city budget right now. We're doing a lot, and it can be assumed that certain things are going to happen, but we haven't passed and gotten full votes on a particular motion. So it's speculation, and it could happen, but there's a chance that it may not happen.
I can't help myself with this segue. Speaking of trash, the mayor's in Rio.
Well, at the end of the day, Corey, it's important to recognize that, the mayor gets invited to a lot of events. She doesn't necessarily call and say, can you have me come to Rio? Every once in a while, city council members get invited to certain conventions and activities where we have received invitations to attend. And so you make a decision as to whether or not that activity is something that's going to be beneficial to the city. And, maybe you come back with a report, or maybe the media needs to ask for what you got out of it. But a lot of people who sponsor events like to see the mayor and anything associated with New Orleans. The bottom line is that this is a very special conference, but it involves mayors. Because I will say this, at the end of the day, do we want to be the city that says our mayor can't attend events where there are other mayors?
Yes. When the mayor 2 months ago was in Mexico City, 10 days ago in Barcelona, Spain, now in Rio, yes. Junket Cantrell needs to be told she can't go to things out of town because she wrecked the reputation of the mayor's office taking all these junkets, and there's no going back now. So, yeah.
I don't think there's any legislation that we would ever pass that would say that for this mayor or any other mayor.
You should, because it's blatant. It's Eugene. It's just blatant. Over the top. They are junkets, pure and simple. No money produced for the city, no jobs created. They're junkets by definition.
Corey, it's important to recognize that. I mean, I don't want to have that political argument, if you will, because at the end of the day, I know, for example, that some representatives from Orléans in France came to New Orleans for the
I know.
Parade,
it's just
and they came because they said they came at the extension of the invitation of the mayor, who had a look, I don't have to defend the mayor.
I'm with you, Eugene. I got to run to a
sister city agreement, and we have a sister city agreement with Orléans. They brought a delegation.
I got it. I got it. I got to run to a break, Eugene. I didn't mean to end it on a sour note, but I just think it's over the top. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me as always, Eugene. Always available, and even on short notice. Thank you.
Second line and parades are safe in New Orleans. This was an outlier. Let's move forward and continue to celebrate the way we do with safety in mind.
Agreed. Thanks, Eugene.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disk, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the fine eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality dates. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employees, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
I don't know about you, New Orleans, but I'm running air conditioning right now. And by Wednesday night, I'll be running heat because we're going to get down into the high 40s, low 50s to start like Wednesday through Saturday. So it's AC right now, and it'll be heat running by Wednesday. If you have any problems ever with your air conditioning or your heat in New Orleans or in Baton Rouge, and when I say New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, Baton Rouge, Metro Baton Rouge, Gonzales, East Baton Rouge, West Bank, Baton Rouge Parish. If you ever need air conditioning or heat help, Total Maintenance is there. I mention three things all the time because when it comes to air conditioning outfit, I want honest folks. I want folks that are knowledgeable, experts, and I want them coming immediately because my AC or heat's not working right. I'm inconvenienced. I'm stressed out. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. That's Total Maintenance, 40 plus years, taking care of you in Metro New Orleans, in Metro Baton Rouge. When you need AC or heat help, think Total Maintenance. Think TM-AC.com. If you need air conditioning or heat help, think Total Maintenance, TM-AC.com. TM-AC.com. That's Total Maintenance in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge. Yeah, we have a flood watch in effect. Could have 3 to 6 inches of rain over the next 24, 36 hours. Tomorrow is going to be kind of a repeat of what we're about to experience. This morning was great. This morning was sunny and nice. And then by post-lunchtime, it got very overcast pretty quickly. Now we're going to get some rain. Starting in a few places in the metro, going to start for sure later tonight, into tomorrow. And then a cold front rolling through. Temperatures dropping Wednesday through Saturday. Like high 40s Wednesday and Thursday morning. Thursday and Friday morning. Like high 40s, low 50s to start the day. Definitely cold, not just cool, but a little cold. About time. Eugene Green just joined us discussing that second line shooting. 2 shootings, actually, about 45 minutes apart. 13 victims, including 2 killed. Have to disagree with Eugene on Mayor LaToya Cantrell and travel. No, she doesn't need to go to anything that's not creating a dollar or jobs for New Orleans. And the reason is she's blown it. You know, she's like the boy who's cried wolf. It just happened too many times. Totally junkets, just strictly for her. And you know, people in her administration that are like friends. It's crazy. And Eugene suggested, what, we're not supposed to allow our mayor to travel? No, not anymore. She's abused the privilege. So much so where she needs to be grounded. But I don't know, when you have Eugene Green on the council talking the way he was talking and the council doing nothing for over a year now on this. I mean, JP Morrell had the best idea. All travel limited to $1,000. You want to go somewhere? Come to the council. Get special permission. We'll let you spend more money if it benefits the city of New Orleans. But if Mayor LaToya Cantrell is at this conference in Rio or not, no one is, 2 things. If she's there, no one's going, oh my God, what a great speaker, what great insight. Thank God Mayor LaToya Cantrell of New Orleans was here. It added to the conference. That is not happening. We all know that. It's not happening, not even close. There's no insight or anything she's going to say that's going to enlighten folks from around the world at this conference in Rio. And if she doesn't show up, no one is missing her at all. No one's missing her at all. No, about 6 weeks ago, Mexico City. About 10 days ago, Barcelona, Spain. Now Rio in Brazil. It is crazy. It's obnoxious. It's so overt and in your face, and she totally doesn't care. Black or white, Democrat, Republican, totally self-centered, totally narcissistic, totally maniacal, just belligerent about it, just flipping off the city, the world's biggest middle finger. She does not care. Not when you go on that many trips. And then there's a federal indictment looming. No, I never, you don't want to step on number 2 to get to number 1. You don't want to gloat. You don't want to be that person. But boy, so many people are going to be happy in the city of New Orleans and metro area that counts on New Orleans when this mayor gets indicted. And that's sad. That's sad. Yeah, fired up that the mayor is indicted. I'm happy for her, grief. But, you make your bed, you got to sleep in it. And this mayor has made her bed. She's going to sleep in it and then does these junkets just like in your face. Screw you. The hell with you. I know there's a bunch of haters out there. Don't hate the player, whatever her mentality is. It's beyond obnoxious. It's crazy. So, yeah, sadly, there's going to be a lot of people gloating. They're going to have a great day. That you're going to be like, Jimmy, why are you so happy? Oh, Mayor LaToya Cantrell got indicted today. A lot of folks are going to be happy when that goes down. Not if, when that goes down. I've been at this a while, like a lot of you have. Been around life a long time. Follow things and kind of know what things where they tend to go, how things tend to work. The shocking thing would be the mayor not getting indicted. The shocking thing would be the mayor not getting indicted. All these folks that have been indicted are under federal investigation, are ripe to be indicted. You're going to see a lot of people cutting deals that get indicted, a lot of people cutting deals so they don't get indicted. That are, the feds are interviewing them. They see where it's going. They become a very cooperating witness, and any kind of indictment or thoughts of that just goes away. No, the mayor is relentless and does not stop. That's the crappy side of New Orleans. Here's the flip side of that coin, a 180-degree difference, diametrically opposed. The U.S. Postal Service will release a stamp early 2025. Alan Toussaint gets his own stamp. I told you the dead opposite from kind of it's classless mayor, selfish, just obsessed with herself, just borderline crazy. I mean, just just does things over and over again. It's like, man, you're under an indictment. You just keep doing stupid thing after stupid thing. It's like you're begging the feds to indict you. Just the worst part of New Orleans, the horrible side, the bad side of the city, and then the opposite. Alan Toussaint's getting a postage stamp. I mean, it's just killer. You know, like I said a little while ago, I might buy 20, 30, 40 stamps at a time. They last me a long, long time. I don't mail a lot of stuff anymore at all. But when the Alan Toussaint stamps come out, I'm going to get like 50 or 100 of them. I will have those for years, those forever stamps. I think it's a 77-cent stamp that Alan Toussaint's going to be on. Hey, if you're listening right now, this will probably be a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia question later this week. What other or which other New Orleanians have been on a postage stamp? I knew Mahalia Jackson, the queen of gospel. Mahalia Jackson, New Orleans' own Mahalia Jackson. I'll probably ask, what other person, and that would be a great answer later in the week. And I might even ask Mahalia Jackson's neighborhood where she grew up in New Orleans, that Black Pearl neighborhood, kind of in between Broadway and the river, St. Charles Avenue and the river, that triangle right off River Road. That's where Mahalia Jackson was born and raised. Pretty cool. Not far from the river, not far from Audubon Park in Uptown. Yeah, the Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, in Baton Rouge. WoodhouseSpas.com. Hey, guys, it's holiday season coming up. We're almost at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's a week from this Thursday. In like 5 weeks, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, holiday season. Get her the gift she wants, a day of relaxation. Ideally, get with one of your buddies. You'll both get that special person in your life, that day of relaxation. So those pals, those 2 friends, they go enjoy that full-blown day of relaxation at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. They do it together. Makes it even a better gift for them. You want to tighten up your lady? WoodhouseSpas.com. Gift cards, any denomination, including a full-blown day of relaxation. The city's premier day spa, 5 area locations. Find out more, like booking a location, printing a gift card online. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. Scrim, that dog is on the loose again. This is crazy. That dog that has gotten out, escaped ownership not once but twice, now a 3rd time, just out on the street. Let's say escaped ownership. The first one we would guess escaped ownership. The owners may have abandoned the dog. The second time the dog was captured, new forever home, escaped. 3-4 months on the loose. Captured again, a new owner, uptown house, left the window open, gnaws through the screen, and then jumps off the 2nd floor balcony onto concrete, like a 13-foot drop for this dog. Probably hurt his back leg a little. Don't chase Scrim in Uptown now somewhere, because he'll just run away and probably run in the street, and that could get him killed. Go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson, and there's a number posted. You can call the girl from Zeus's Uptown, and she'll go find Scrim and shoot a dart in him and knock him out. Problem is, you hit him with the dart, he runs for like 4 or 5 minutes before the tranquilizer kicks in and knocks him out. So she has to run and follow the dog, and Scrim's fast and crafty and quick. Anyways, on the loose in Uptown, so keep an eye out for Scrim. I don't know if you want to watch the video, him leaping off the 2-story balcony, right on his back legs and belly on the concrete, the walkway from the front door, and then sticks his head through the little wrought iron, fence, and he's gone. Scrim's on the loose in Uptown.
Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Ooh, la, la, I move. That's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer. That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
They are booking up fast. The Grand Victorian in the Garden District on the streetcar line, St. Charles Avenue. What an incredible bed and breakfast experience. If you got friends and family coming in for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, New Year, holiday, maybe the Sugar Bowl, New Orleans Bowl, they got you covered at the Grand Victorian. Don't put up friends and family at a hotel in New Orleans. Put them up in grand style at the Grand Victorian. About 130-year-old bed and breakfast, a home originally designed by renowned architect Thomas Sully, meticulously renovated, about a dozen rooms, 10, 11, 12 rooms available at the Grand Victorian. They still have rooms available for the Super Bowl, for Valentine's Day weekend, for French Quarter Fest and Jazz Fest, but they're going to be gone quickly. They're going to fill up quickly, like Mardi Gras, totally booked over Mardi Gras, the Grand Victorian on St. Charles Avenue. And it's not just for you folks like in Baton Rouge or Lafayette, outside New Orleans, checking us out on YouTube, maybe in another state. It's definitely for you guys, but it's not only for you guys. Local folks, especially in the outlying parishes, Jefferson, the North Shore, St. Bernard, want to experience St. Charles Avenue, right there on the streetcar line, easy to get down to Carrollton, easy to get downtown French Quarter. A lot of great restaurants within walking distance. I mean, you're on St. Charles Avenue, Britannia, Magazine, not too far away. It's easy. It's the Grand Victorian. If you want to book a room, go online, gvbb.com, Grand Victorian Bed and Breakfast, gvbb.com. Those 4 letters, they'll get you in. gvbb.com, the Grand Victorian. Monday afternoon, flood watch in effect. We could experience 3 to 6 inches of rain over the next 24, 36 hours or so. Then a cold front rolling in. Wednesday through Saturday, high 40s, low 50s to start the day. Thursday morning, it'll be 48 degrees to start the morning. Wednesday overnight, high 40s. Excellent winter weather. Yeah, get out the big coat finally. Maybe even the gloves and the hat. 48's cold, not cool, cold. Especially down here, you throw in that humidity and a little wind off the lake. It's going to be, feels like a lot colder. No, I'm looking forward to that because this has been October was fantastic, like a great October. November's a little warm. When we're getting into the 80s like every day, it's a little crazy. I mean, like I said, Thanksgiving a week from Thursday. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, the St. Roch second line shooting. Things have been going so well in the city. Incredible violent crime decrease. This is one of the biggest second lines. So it goes on for blocks. It's thousands of people attending. Probably 1,000 people participating almost. Definitely hundreds and hundreds. 2 shootings about 45 minutes apart. The second shooting, I think, is going down as Ann Kirkpatrick's addressing the media on the parade route, on the second line route. You can hear shots in the background. That may have been the second shooting. First shooting, 10 wounded. 6 of them were female, including a 71-year-old woman. It's crazy. The second shooting, 2 killed, 1 wounded, all male. Eugene Green joined us, Councilman District D, to discuss it just a little while ago on the program. No, definitely a bad side of New Orleans, but hopefully an outlier, not the norm. We don't have second line shootings all the time. Sadly, we've had them in the past. I think Eugene Green said 2 years ago was the last one. But when I say an outlier, meaning violent crime is down tremendously. So hopefully this isn't going back to the wild, wild west days. And with video and a police camera on site, it's not a matter of, if, but when these jokers get picked up by the NOPD or Troop NOLA. They're helping out as well on this. The mayor remains in Brazil until tomorrow. Eugene Green and I disagreed on this. He's like, so you're saying that the mayor of the city of New Orleans should not be allowed to leave? I'm like, yes, exactly. Because this mayor's abused the privilege. Junket Cantrell has abused the privilege. So, yeah, there's nothing she needs to go to. If she really needs to speak, she can go on, YouTube. Sorry, not feeling well. Make an excuse. Make an excuse. Or you can say, I've abused the travel thing so much that the city's restricting my travel now. Can't make it. I think we can all 110% agree. This climate conference in Rio, there's nothing at all the mayor could possibly say that is insightful, that is original, that folks from around the world that are attending this are going to learn something from LaToya Cantrell. Isn't that beyond safe to say? And also, if she never would have gone, no one would miss her for a minute. No, dozens of junkets, dozens, Not a single job created, not a single dollar coming into the city. It's all just one great big farce. And the mayor laughs at us and flips us off. Black, white, Republican, Democrat, doesn't care. But she'll care when she gets indicted. And sadly, there'll be a lot of citizens saying that's a great day for New Orleans when Mayor LaToya Cantrell gets indicted. Isn't that a sad testament to this mayor? When she gets indicted, not if, when, people are going to celebrate it. No, and the mayor's attitude about travel, the passport will be revoked. She'll have to, relinquish her passport. Won't be able to do all this travel. You want to know who thinks it's crazy? Blue boy. What's that, buddy? Slow down. I'm having trouble translating. The mayor is belligerent about these junkets, especially considering she's under federal investigation and is going to be indicted any day now. Blue boy, you're a genius. You do a better job at mayor, clearly. Coming right back, 5 o'clock powwow. And next, don't move, New Orleans.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809.
A safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right, Young's Dry.
The French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse is on the river. Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is locations in Orleans Parish. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. Find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint. And here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your color so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer,
That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French Bread. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Let's pick it up with number 9, Mr. Drew Brees, from his compound in La Jolla, outside of San Diego. Mr. Drew Brees. Thank you so much, Drew. You are correct. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. Arguably the greatest city in the world, huh? Gotta love New Orleans. Great weather, even with this flood watch and rain coming in the next 24, 36 hours. Come Wednesday night, cold front rolling in, following this rain. Temperature's going to drop like 40-degree drop, 35-degree drop from low 80s, our high right now, to high 40s. Some you right weather on the horizon. It'll be pretty cold Wednesday through Saturday, at least to start the day. High 40s, low 50s, and then it's going to be sunshine and 60s. Just some gorgeous days, including straight through this weekend. Wednesday to like next Tuesday, muy bueno weatherito. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock power hour on this Monday. I know a lot of you are like, holy smokes, he's bilingual. Yes. Yes, he's not. Yes, he's not. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way on this Monday. A lot to discuss. Eugene Green, Councilman District D, joined us last hour discussing the 13 victims, 2 killed in 2 separate second-line shootings in the St. Roch neighborhood. Just terrible. 10 wounded in the first shooting, including a half dozen females. 6 of 10 female, including a 71-year-old woman. Second shooting, 2 killed, 1 wounded. Terrible. No, awful. Speaking of awful, the mayor not in town while this was going down. She's in Rio. About 6 weeks ago, she was in Mexico City. About 10 days ago, she was in Barcelona, Spain. Now she's in Rio. When the mayor gets indicted, not if, when the mayor gets indicted, she will have to relinquish her passport. And that will stop travel. I asked Eugene Green about it. He said, what are we supposed to do? Have a mayor that can't travel? And I said, yes, absolutely. She's abused the privilege with all these junkets that have not created a single dollar, much less a single job for New Orleans. 0. Junkets, by definition, a taxpayer-financed vacation for an elected official. These are pure and simple junkets to the hilt. So no. The council obviously will not restrict her travel. The New Orleans City Council, which could restrict it, could cut off the funding. They refused to do it. But when the mayor's indicted, a federal judge will require her to relinquish her passport. And that will ground the mayor finally. Junket Cantrell will cease to exist. And then hopefully within a few months after that, found guilty and at the very least has to resign or go to jail. Sadly, it's sort of sad. A lot of people are going to celebrate the indictment, and if she gets jail time, they'll celebrate that. You know, I was never like a fan of Edwin Edwards, the opposite. I mean, I found him funny, but at the taxpayer's expense. He was just very corrupt, a criminal, a deviant, 4-term governor, and did nothing for Louisiana. Nothing. Just enriched himself, his friends, and family over and over and over again. But when he was indicted for the 4th time and found guilty, and then a short time later had to report to jail, I wasn't like happy or gloating or thumbs up or smiling or having some kind of party, but I was like, justice. You know, these people, these politicians put us in a bad position. We elect them, we trust them, and they screw us over. And then they cheat and steal and do criminal deviant crap. So it's either allow them to continue doing that, like the mayor, she's on another junket. It doesn't stop. Or you have to be like, no, justice needs to be served. So an indictment of that mayor would be positive. The mayor being found guilty and going to jail would be a positive because there's no other way to stop it, or apparently no appetite with the council to restrict just the junkets. But then the criminal behavior is way beyond the junkets. The junkets are just unethical, immoral. Sometimes they're criminal. Sometimes the mayor's doing things that are illegal, upgrading seats, bringing along a boyfriend, that type of stuff. But it's more unethical, immoral, just no pride, no honor, just sad, pathetic, petty, just weak. C. Ray Nagin used to do this. I got to dinner with my wife. Inevitably, someone would walk up and say, hey, Mr. Mayor, all of a sudden I'm doing work. It's mayoral duty. So, yeah, I would charge the meal to the city. It's like, yeah, would you normally be eating at these places if you weren't going to charge the meal to the city? And then a lot of travel. I remember Ray Nagin during his trial talking about the prosecutors were asking about a helicopter ride in Hawaii by a waterfall. I don't remember that. I don't know about you, but unless you're like a helicopter pilot, you frequently fly in a helicopter. 99% of the population doesn't, and they would remember any helicopter ride, much less one in Hawaii by some waterfalls, you know? So no, it's not something to celebrate, but it's something that needs to happen, and it would be a positive considering the belligerent mayor and her deviant behavior. Just over and over, just rinse and repeat. It doesn't stop. Obnoxious like a child. Obnoxious. And then don't be fooled. Black, white, Republican, Democrat. I'm blown away by folks that defend the mayor, that are like on the mayor's side. It's mind-blowing. I hear some folks that are on the mayor's side and against stuff like the Metropolitan Crime Commission or the Office of Inspector General. Just they have to, realize they're kind of revealing themselves. They're most likely deviants or even criminals. And they accept this behavior. They defend this behavior. And the folks that are righteous, the watchdogs, they criticize. So sometimes you just got to look at the source and wonder where they're coming from. Now, you ever like work in a deal with someone and they're throwing stuff at you like maybe what they would do? No, I would. You can put that in the contract, sure, but I wouldn't steal that. No, I wouldn't take that. No, I'm going to follow through on what I promised. Imagine that. You don't get a gold star or a pat on the back. It's what you're supposed to do. This mayor does the exact opposite. The exact opposite. What can I get away with? Sort of that Edwin Edwards, John Hilario mentality. What can I get away with? Just sad, pathetic. All right, I'll cheer you up. Katie's in Mid-City, anyone? Yeah, they're serving dinner right now. A lot of New Orleans specialties, too. You never know what Scott Craig's going to have at Katie's. It could be doormat flounder or pompano, soft shell crabs. You never know. Katie's in Mid-City truly is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. As New Orleans as it gets. Iberville, corner Talamacus, Katie's in Mid-City. Monday afternoon edition of the program, a 5 o'clock power hour. Cold front rolling in on Wednesday. Yeah, you right. Scrim is on the loose again. That dog escaped from its latest owner in Uptown. I know, I'm not really rolling my eyes on this one. Second floor Uptown house. Guy left the window open. The dog clawed through and bit through the screen. A big enough hole where he could escape. Got up on a second floor balcony, leaped over the railing like a 13-foot drop, plopped right on the concrete. The walkway from the steps to the front gate. Popped right up. I mean, landed. Back legs have to be at least sprained. Stomach probably bruised. And then beelines right to the wrought iron gate and fence, and then sticks his head through the fence and takes off. So if you see Scrim in Uptown, don't chase Scrim because Scrim's fast. You will not catch Scrim. Quick, fast, little deviant. Not a deviant, but just relentless on the go. Energizer bunny dog. No, don't chase Scrim because you might run him into the street in Uptown where a lot of cars parked on the sides of the street. The dog runs out in the street, could get run over and killed. Go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson, and I reposted a NOLA.com story. There's info in that story to call the girl from Zeus's Uptown, and she'll shoot Scrim with a tranquilizer dart like she did before and catch him. That's the only way. And it's only like a 50-50 shot if the dart hits. Because then the dog isn't tranquilized immediately. It takes like 5-10 minutes, and she's got to chase him and follow him until the tranquilizer kicks in and the dog passes out for a minute. Monday afternoon edition of the program. A lot more coming your way. Don't move, New Orleans and beyond.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Hey, Brett Martell from the Associated Press. Another Martell Monday, about 15 minutes away. Saints win their second in a row. Rizzy's undefeated. But the big local sports story, the Tulane Green Wave. They're now 20th ranked in both polls. 20th ranked. They just destroyed Navy on the road, 35-0. There was about 7.5 minutes left, so 3.5 quarters in the books, 7/8 of the game done. Navy had under 100 yards of offense, like 97 yards, with like half a quarter left, like 3.5 quarters in the books. Just Tulane, very balanced offense. They can run the ball. They've got a quarterback that can throw and run. They've got a defense that's really, really good. A really good defense. Special teams are solid. I mean, I watched them on punt coverage. 2 guys beyond the ball at the goal line, waiting for the ball to bounce that way so they can down it like on the 1, the 2, the 3. I mean, they just not 1 but 2 guys. They're back facing the goal. They're facing the ball coming in the punt. Just very well coached. John Sumrall is an incredible winner. I saw that Uptown Connection place on Broadway that sells all the Tulane gear, like Broadway at, what is that, Maple? About 2 blocks off St. Charles. They're thinking of putting this. Coach Sumrall he'll repost something that's positive about the team, like 20th ranked or whatever, and then he'll post like a rat that is about to get, like rat trap, like the box with the stick holding up a rat, and then the box with the stick holding up, and then plus a rat, and then the poison, the skull and crossbones, like rat trap, rat poison. Like, this is the thing we do not need to focus on. And he's so right. He's so right. I mean, I don't care what you do in life. It almost seems inevitable. It could be jumping rope, and you got to do 50 jump ropes. And right when you're like at 20 or 25, you're like, wow, haven't messed up yet. Boom, you mess up. You're playing golf, and damn, I've had 4 pars in a row. Here comes a double. Focus on what's in front of you, not what you've done, what's right behind you. You can reminisce on all that after the event, after the thing you're trying to accomplish is accomplished, after it's over. And John Sumrall is incredible with compartmentalizing things. Plus, I reposted like a halftime interview from the Navy game. He is insanely thorough. Like, covers all the bases, yet very concise, fits it in tightly, not a lot of BS with the guy, just facts and information.
The ESPN interviewer was asking him like a 8+ minute drive. He's like 8 minutes, 44 seconds. Like knew the exact length of the drive in the first half. They just left the field. They weren't in the locker room. No one handed him a stat sheet. He just knew how much time off the clock someone had told him, or he did it in his head or whatever. He knows the game. The guy is such a winner, such a positive force. Hard to imagine. I mean, Willie Fritz, it's hard to, that guy is the all-time greatest coach in Tulane history, one could argue, right up there with Shaughnessy, any of these guys. Took the program from nothing, like a bottom 20 team in college football. 1, 2, 3 wins a year. A big win year would be like 4 or 5 wins. Just pathetic. Decade in, decade out, much less season in, season out. He took, Fritz's success and went up higher level with it. Took it to another level. Tulane football is just getting recognition all around the country. They're the talk of everybody. ESPN Game Day had a Navy Tulane pick talking about Mensa, Kirk Herbstreit, and the quarterback play and all this. No, John Sumrall gets New Orleans, understands Uptown, understands Tulane. Everyone at Tulane, hopefully the administration pits and everybody's seeing, you see what winning football does? Again, like having to, say it again? Get on these facilities already, Tulane. What are you waiting for? Focus on what's right in front of you. John Sumrall, winning coach, winning program, Tulane at an all-time high. Focus on that and reinvest in that. You can't go wrong reinvesting in that. I'll tell you what, Monday Night Football tonight, Pelicans basketball, Tulane games, LSU. Oh, boy, Saints on the win, a little win streak going. Legendary Tracy's on Magazine, a great place to check out all your favorite sports teams because like-minded fans like you are at Tracy's on Magazine. They're essentially catty corner from that Bromart on Magazine between Washington and Louisiana. Magazine, corner Pleasant, right on that corner, big 2-story, 100-year-old historic building with a huge balcony on Magazine. Too many flat screen TVs to count. Literally, there might be like 30 or 40 in the place. And unlike other sports bars, an actual full-time kitchen, food you actually want to eat, that you look forward to eating. Like maybe one of the best sloppy roast beef po' boys in New Orleans. Bigger and better than ever. Legendary Tracy's Magazine at Pleasant. When it's time to check out your favorite sports teams, hard to find a better place than Tracy's. Magazine at Pleasant. Go check out the all-new location and check out your favorite sports teams with fans. If you can't be there in the stadium, in the arena, the next best thing, doing it at Tracy's Magazine at Pleasant. Yeah, and get a roast beef po' boy. You'll be glad you did. That's a big difference. A lot of sports bars, I don't even know why they serve food, just like barely substance. Substance. Nothing I want to eat. Tracy's, lots of goodies you want to eat. Yeah, Saints winning 2 in a row. Tulane 20th ranked. They're 9-2. Third straight conference championship game. And LSU's on a 3-game losing streak. They lose to 4-5 Florida. LSU unranked. Not going to get to 10 wins, Tiger fans. I don't know. Hopefully all I can say is this is a step backwards to move forward. I remember covering LSU, Nick Saban, at the Cotton Bowl when they took on Texas. Phil Simms' kid was the QB. They took care of LSU in that Cotton Bowl game. They were the better team. And then the next year, lost a lot of players that were high quality to the draft and end of their time at LSU. And then they won the national title the very next year with a lot of new players and players that came back. Won the national title after that. So you're like, man, Texas kind of handles LSU in that Cotton Bowl. Next year, they're national champs. First time in 45 years, too. So I don't know. Maybe LSU, year 3 of Kelly having to step back. This recruiting class is off the charts good. You got like number 1, number 3, number 5, like top 5, top 8 guys at like quarterback, running back, a couple of great wide receivers, a couple of cornerbacks, D tackle, maybe another one coming on board. The kid that was at St. Aug that went to Carr, he's ready to go and play college now. So that recruiting class, getting those freshmen on the field, getting these other underclassmen on the field that are seeing a little bit of time this year or not playing at all this year, they're going to be stars in the future. No, that's all you can hope for. One glaring weakness, I would say, and there are lots of holes in the roster, but defensive line screams the most to me. That just jumps out at me. LSU always has had a quality defensive line and backups too. Backups that could start at other programs. Not right now under Brian Kelly. Not right now under Brian Kelly. Yeah, Brett Martell will join us in a few minutes to discuss all that. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour on a Monday. Leidenheimer Baking Company. Leidenheimer French bread. Need I say more? Since 1896, baking all that French bread you love right here in New Orleans at Leidenheimer Bakery. It's the only place it comes from. Leidenheimer Baking Company. Leidenheimer French bread, truly good to the last crumb. So good. Hey, check us out on YouTube as we head to 5:30, you television viewers. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Check it out. Thanks so much for watching us. Yeah, and click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every day we're on TV statewide, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Cox Channel 4. We're in Slidell, Covington, Mandeville. That's Cheyenne country. Hammond, Houma, Thibodaux, Opelousas. Spectrum Channel 333. Weekday afternoons, 4 to 5:30. 90 minutes of fun on television statewide. Check it out. Or get that smart TV on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. You just get reminders. Hey, it's 4:05. Corey's live on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Yeah, Martell Monday. Brett Martell just a few minutes away. You know, I talk about bad news, and it could be like this 13 victim, 2 killed St. Roch double shooting during the second line yesterday. Just awful. Awful. And then just the terrible mayor. You know, a month ago it was Mexico City. 10 days ago it was Barcelona, Spain. Now she's in Rio. And maybe she sees the writing on the wall. Hey, y'all, when I get indicted, that damn federal judge is going to make me relinquish my passport, and the junkets are done. Old Junket Cantrell will be grounded. Maybe that's what she's thinking. Get in as much as you can before the inevitable, before the indictment, before jail time. Crazy. All right, but also some good news. The United States Postal Service early next year is going to release an Allen Toussaint stamp. New Orleans' own Allen Toussaint. Gotta love this. Getting a U.S. postage stamp. I'll be buying a bunch of those, and I'll be keeping a few, and I don't even collect stamps.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Hey, if you're looking for a job or a career, there's one company in New Orleans that just stands above the rest. Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. They make a shrimp peeling machine that is the industry standard around the world. They're all plastic modular conveyor belts, literally the industry standard around the world. The Lapierre stair, the alternating tread stair, just genius. You want to be part of that culture? A culture of innovation? I mean, if we had a dozen or 15 Latrims, New Orleans would be like Nashville. We'd have a booming economy. Thank goodness we have Latrim. About 1,400 plus employees in Elmwood. You North Shore folks, you don't have to traverse the lake. They have an I-12 facility. For a full listing of jobs, full listing of positions available, a career at Latrim, go to their website, latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com. Hey, it is time for Martell Monday. Brett Martell joins us again. He's with the Associated Press for nearly 30 years. How you doing, Brett?
Doing great, Corey. How are you?
Doing well, man. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the big sports story locally, and it's bigger than Saints win 2 in a row. That's next. 20th ranked Tulane, 20th ranked in your guys, the AP poll, 20th ranked in the coaches poll. They're 9-2. 3rd straight conference championship game, locked and loaded. It'll be Tulane and Army, hopefully at Yeoman, but the Waves got to take care of business first.
Boy, they took care of Navy over the weekend, Brett. It was 3.5 quarters in, like 7/8 of the game in the books. About 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Navy had 97 yards of offense, 97. Just domination on offense and defense, 35-0 win over the midshipmen.
Yeah, I mean, Tulane's defense, I talked to John Summerall last week right before I went to Annapolis. Others go to the same school, so I ran into him in the hallway. And I said, I've never seen a defense like yours where you just keep rotating fresh guys in the whole time. It doesn't seem to matter. And he said, I've never seen anything like that either. I mean, we just have so many guys who are ready to play. So, you'll see Patrick Jenkins. I mean, if it's not his series to be in, he's their best defensive lineman by far, really. But he wasn't in for a 4th and short last week, and it's just because they had a series and then it was their turn. And Tulane didn't see the need to break out of their regular rotation because their defense has been so lights out that they have outscored their last 3 opponents and combined.
What was that?
So,
they outscored their last 3 opponents what?
121-9.
Wow. Are you kidding? That's amazing. What a stat. 121-9. Yeah, the defense has a lot of playmakers all across the ball. Great defensive line, active linebackers, athletic DBs. And like you said, Brett, they probably go 20 deep.
Yeah, they're extraordinary. I mean, on defense, it really is. That's the story of this team. I mean, their offense is good. They have some speedy, receivers, but they've got some guys who are agile, fast, catch the ball. Their freshman quarterback has been good, solid. Other than just a couple of huge. His 2nd and 3rd game of his career, basically, against Kansas State and Oklahoma. I know he'd like to have those back out his career as a redshirt freshman. Then and it's just tough situations. And obviously Mekhi Hughes is, well over 1,000 yards now. A bunch of touchdowns, double-digit touchdowns, extraordinary. And their offense is really. The offense is the story, but the defense is the bigger story to me.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I saw one thing, Brett, first off, I think they're ridiculously well coached. They're very sound on defense, as you mentioned. They're diverse and sound on offense. There was a punt where both special teams players are beyond the punt. They're standing on like the 1-yard line, backs to the end zone. They're facing the ball. Now, the ball landed and bounced, away from the end zone. But if it were to have bounced forward, they would have downed it on the 1. I mean, it was like a wall was set up. I'm like, a lot of teams, special teams, aren't that sound where they're coached like that. And I saw that a few times on special teams, things that stood out like that. On offense and defense, I mean, they get penalties like everybody else. And earlier in the year, they had a few more, but they really don't shoot themselves in the foot. They're disciplined. There's a lot of talent. Tulane's a fun football team to watch and a fun program to be a part of. John Summerall's electric, man. The halftime interview, Brett, with ESPN, he was just very thorough yet concise. Thorough yet concise. Just no BS. Just telling it like it is. Very informative. It's a good team.
He comes across as really genuine and kind of funny too. When he was asked about finally Tulane getting back in the rankings last week at 25 for the first time all season, he basically said that it's all garbage as far as he and his players are concerned because they don't want to focus on what people outside the building are saying to them. He's like the same people who tell you how great you are when you win will tell you how bad you are when you lose, and that's. And that's your friend, your girlfriend, your parents, your aunt, some neighbor who probably drank too much. That's the way he was talking about it. It was really funny. So, but yeah, I mean, it was hard to envision that the Saints would get an upgrade when Willie Fritz chose to go to Houston. And this is an example of how, sometimes you can get an upgrade in that situation if you build your program in the right way, where the coach who wants to be the next young, great up-and-coming coach looks at your program as a place where they want to go. then you can end up with upgrades. But certainly they're a tremendous story now, up to number 20, and really hitting their stride and just blowing out their conference, which admittedly is a little weaker this year than it was in past years, and setting them up for a big game now on Thanksgiving night. They can't overlook against Memphis. And then they obviously, if they win that, they could very well host, because Army has to play Notre Dame. If Army loses to Notre Dame, Tulane wins against Memphis, Tulane will jump them in the rankings, host the AAC championship game for the third straight year. And one statistically about Tulane is they have 8 non-offensive touchdowns this year. So on defense, they not only have the talent. I mean, they not only are well coached and in the right position all the time, but they have the talent to execute when they get an opportunity and execute big in terms of fumble and interception returns for touchdowns.
Yep. Now, I thought I read something. They have like 51 touchdowns on the year offensively. I think it's tied for first in college football.
You know what? I'm not up to speed on that exactly. I have to look that up.
I think that's what it is.
They led the nation in non-offensive touchdowns.
Wow. And they may be tied for most offensive ones as well. That's what nice statistics. Brett, you said a lot about keeping it inside the building. I mean, look no further than Dennis Allen. Mid-September, folks are like, this guy's the answer. Look at this offense, putting up 91 points in 2 games. Only Sean Payton put up 93 in 2 games, with Drew Brees put up more. This is a good hire. We may have to consider a contract extension, a raise for the guy. And now he's not even the head coach of the Saints after 7 straight losses. So you can go from hero to goat to hero so quickly. I mean, John Wooden paraphrasing, he's like, when you win, you get too much praise, and when you lose, you get too much criticism. I think that's a great mentality. The season continues. I love what he posts on Twitter, the rat plus the box with the stick under it, like rat trap. And then he's got the rat and the skull and crossbones, like rat poisoning, but top 20 and things outside the building. He's right. They're kind of worthless right now. They're fun for fans, but the program doesn't need to be focusing in on any of that. A lot of work to be done.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you really pressed John Sumrall on the significance of the ranking, I mean, the ranking matters, because it matters whether he hosts the AAC championship game or not. So it does matter. But the thing is, it doesn't matter in terms of preparing for the next game.
And it's beyond his control. And it's beyond his control and the team's control where they get ranked.
Right. And that's why. So obviously he enjoys the accolades, because recruits see how good they are.
Yep.
And how good he is, right? When they see the rankings and stuff like that. The accolades do matter in the big picture, but they don't matter in terms of his weekly, regimen to prepare the team. And for the next, where he's coming from is that he doesn't want his players even thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a discussion.
That's smart.
So, yeah, it is.
I like that. Brett Martell's with us, another Martell Monday. Hey, New Orleans, I picked up Lebanon's Cafe to go for lunch. You can do the same for dinner. I got chicken shawarma, some tabbouleh, a fried football kibbe. That's like a Lebanese meat pie. Absolutely outstanding. Shish kebab, lamb chops, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9:30, straight through. They're open right now. Outdoor dining, too, under the big green awning. Don't let a little drizzle throw you off your game. Under the oak trees on the streetcar line, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe. Hey, Brett, hang on, man. I'm going to knock out a quick break. Going to come right back. More with Brett Martell, a Martell Monday. And we got a lot to discuss. I'm glad we started with Tulane, because we've missed them the last few weeks, and they're the big story. Saints win 2 in a row. Rizzi's undefeated. That's a big story. And then the diametric opposite in Baton Rouge. Brian Kelly and LSU, the train has come off the tracks. 3 straight losses. The latest on the road to 4-5 Florida. The Gators taking care of the Tigers. Brett Martell stays with us. You do the same. Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Heading home from work, chances are you'll pass at least one, if not 2, Rouse's markets. They're everywhere. Over 65 Rouse's, about 1/3 of all Rouse's markets are in Metro New Orleans. Locally owned and operated New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's markets taste like home. I was in Rouse's today, Napoleon at Chapatulas, picking up some items, some goodies at Rouse's. Napoleon at the river. Brett Martell's with us, another Martell Monday. Hey, Brett, Rizzi's 2-0. When an interim coach in the NFL wins his first game right out the gate, it's an 18% chance he's going to win the second one. I guess it went up to 19 or 20 now. Rizzi 2-0, taking care of Cleveland, too. Pretty impressive. And not that Cleveland's any good, but just it's like the original Carolina game, doing what you're supposed to do to a team like that.
Yeah. Well, it was tight when they tied it up in the third quarter, obviously, although the Saints probably should have been able to pad their lead a little more than they did. But, Taysom Hill had those 2 first half turnovers, and obviously he made up for it and then some.
Boy, what a game he had, even with the turnovers. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. But, of course, so that first long pass he threw into triple coverage, it wasn't just ill advised, but they were trying to be aggressive, didn't work. Then, they had a play where they to Foster Moreau. There was a penalty, took him out of field goal range. Then they had Taysom Hill fumbling in the red zone, right?
Yep.
I mean, he took a big hit on that play. I'm just glad he wasn't concussed, frankly, and knocked out of the game. Took a big time hit on that play. Ball dislodged. They lose. So, all those were scoring opportunities that missed out on. Well, not the long pass, because that was early in the but definitely two scoring opportunities that left points off the board. So that allows Atlanta to come back in the game. 13 on the third quarter, and then you have they run away with it. And the moral to the story was for Darren Rizzi and a lot of the players was that he's really been focused on having those guys look at how many games they had a chance to win and couldn't do it because of poor late stage execution. And he really wanted to try to get them in the right mindset to execute at their best, in the crucial final minutes or quarter or whatever it may be. And the defense came up big in the fourth quarter against Atlanta, and they protected a 3-point lead that entire quarter. And the offense and defense came up pretty big yesterday, and they outscored them 21-0 in the fourth quarter and tied a game into a comfortable 3 TD win. So they're pretty happy about that. Rizzi's definitely, I think, pushing the right buttons, organizing them and getting them to focus on the right things. And they seem to be getting healthier, and they have a bye week. And so we'll see what happens. I mean, I think the big question going forward health-wise is just, Eric McCoy, and he had his first game back, left early, appeared to have some nagging discomfort with the groin that he's coming back from, and they didn't want to push him. So we'll see what happens there.
They need the bye week the next month. That in a month we'll know exactly if Rizzi's a candidate for the full-time gig or not.
Yeah, that's right. And he will be a candidate if they, he got 8 games. So if they go 6-2 or better, and frankly he only has to go 4-2 to go 6-2 now, he has to be a candidate because they like him, and he will have won at a 750 percentage.
Yeah.
So you have to consider him. I think the players like him, the fans like him, and they're winning. So if they continue to win like that, he has to be a candidate. But they also, with the Rooney Rule and everything else, they're going to have to open it up and at least interview some minority candidate in the team or without. And look at some other options just to do their due diligence. But players have already started talking about, at least Derek Carr started talking about after this last game, that it sounds like the players motivated. They like Rizzi enough that they want to see if they can make him the leading candidate by winning.
Yeah. No, it all takes care of itself. Hey,
they're starting to express that out loud, which is interesting.
80 miles upriver. The wheels are falling off this LSU team. Brett, I remember LSU played Texas in the Cotton Bowl about 20 years ago, and Phil Simms' kid was the QB, and they just sort of with a better team and took care of LSU. The next year, LSU won the national championship. Kelly's 3 years in. Is with the recruiting class and younger players, is it, next year they could win? Because right now, seems like the coach is losing control of the team, yelling at players on the sideline, players yelling at the coach. Just sort of uncomfortable if you're an LSU fan right now.
Yeah, it's a bad look with the yelling on the sidelines. But in a way, I think, it shows, is it showing that Kelly's really competitive, or is it showing that he's socially awkward? Like, you know, it feels like he's been working on things ad nauseum with certain players, and then he sees them fail to do it as they worked on and practice in the game, and it drives him nuts.
Yep.
And you know, look, I mean, Saban yelled, screamed. I mean,
I remember LSU was leading someone 42-0 in the fourth quarter, and Saban was just ripping this defensive back coming off the field.
Yeah,
I was like, holy smokes, coach, it's 42-0.
Yeah, Kelly has coached for 34 years. He's in that different generation. There's probably a bit of a generation gap here that's playing out in a somewhat awkward way. But he is, you know, in a lot of ways. He's just maybe not, you know, I'm talking personality-wise now. I'm not saying he's as good of a coach or as good of a recruiter, but players, guy yelling does happen. I think we're less used to it now because it's a new generation, you know, but it's that stuff, and it's the NIL and all that in the transfer portal, right? And so I think maybe you get a lot of tiptoeing around players' feelings, and Kelly's just not that way.
Yep.
So, you know, it stands out more now, and it looks ugly, but I think all that stuff is fixable. I mean, it's just a matter of whether he's really getting the recruits and getting the execution he needs. And they seem to have taken a step back lately, but the way he painted it is, if you throw out the Alabama game, the other three games in the third quarter, they had a legitimate chance.
Yeah, I guess I could look at it that way. Yep. Hey, Brett, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. That's Brett Martell, another Martell Monday. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. Hey, New Orleans, see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. right here. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.